Welcome back to Now. We are happening now on TTT Morning Show. Lisa with you, and we're going to be talking about nutrition packs, and I have with me my guest for this morning, Janelle Zakur, nutritionist. And while she's talking, we're going to show you a little video which gives a little insight into the 6 food groups. I'm jumping right in. Good morning, Janelle.
Good morning,
Thank
Lisa.
you so much for coming.
Thanks for having
me. I went online and I found this lovely video which will enhance what we're talking about, because I don't think we could show it alone because it is just music, right? But it gives so succinctly the 6 Caribbean food groups that our parents should be thinking about. You were telling me?
Yes, it is actually something that is so unknown in Trinidad, especially because most people think that we follow, the American system or the Canadian system, but we do have something here in Trinidad that we use.
Yeah.
In fact, it's used up the Caribbean as well.
Yes.
So we have the Caribbean 6 food groups.
Yeah.
And what it is just a guide to kind of plan, your day.
Yeah.
So it's very similar to, the food pyramid back in the day. So it's similar to that, but in like pie chart form.
Right. Okay. Well, you have it here.
I did. I brought it.
So if I hold it up, we can get it.
Maybe you could zoom in on it.
Yeah.
This is one of my teaching tools. So I work with a laminated copy everywhere.
I feel like Vanna White. Yes, so you're telling us, so the reason we're talking about this, because it's the first day of term, yeah? And it's the first day of the term, and we're looking at what you can have in your lunch kits.
Right.
I'm saying healthy snacks for their packs kind of thing.
Oh, nice.
You like that? Yeah. Copyrighted, okay. So what can parents put into their lunch kits that's going to keep their children healthy?
In just terms of snacking or generally?
Well, let's start with snacking first, because children tend to like snacks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, snacks are really just supposed to be a mini meal, It's not supposed to be a bag of chips. It's not supposed to be cookies. It's supposed to be food, ideally. So it should encompass at least one of the food groups,
Right.
It could be a fruit. It could be, vegetables with like a dip, like hummus or yogurt or ranch dressing.
You're going to get children of that age to eat
it starts from young. It actually starts from young, and it does help to transition them into it, especially if they didn't grow up with it.
Yeah.
So I can give you an example for me. So I hated whole wheat bread growing up.
Yeah.
But what my mother did was use, the Nutella spread.
Right.
Right. So we used to get it from Guadalupe back in the day. So she used to put a little bit, like a spread of that chocolate thing. Chocolate spread on the whole wheat bread. Right. Yeah. So eventually my taste kind of acclimatized to the whole wheat bread, and now I ended up going to secondary school pumpernickel bread sandwiches, which was unheard of. So you do need to.
Listen to me. You just went from 0 to 100. Okay.
I think I'm a an exception in this case, but you have to transition kids, especially if they didn't grow up with that kind of background.
Right.
So if you start with white bread, you can't just throw them into the whole wheat bread. You have to kind of ease their taste buds into it.
Right.
So, you could, start with one slice of white, one slice of whole wheat, and kind of build them up into a whole wheat bread sandwich.
Okay.
So it kind of works that way.
So we're working with more fruits and vegetables and healthy snacks.
Ideally, yes. So we had National Nutrition Awareness Week earlier this year.
Yeah.
It's something that TANDI, the Association of Nutritionists and Dietitians, celebrates. And we focused on fruits and vegetables this year.
Yeah.
Right? So it was kind of like showing people how to use fruits and vegetables in their meals, just generally, because most people don't.
Yeah.
Most Trinidadians leave out the veg completely on their plate.
Or the salad. Yeah.
Well,
but let's bring it to the 6
snacks.
food groups then.
Right.
Yeah?
Okay, so should we go through the food groups
Yes.
first? Okay, so we have to, okay.
I'll hold it for you. Yeah.
Right, so we have these staples: legumes, foods from animals, fruits, vegetables, and fats and oils. So before we jump into this, I think we should touch a little bit about the macronutrients first.
Okay.
Right, so we have macronutrients and micronutrients.
Right.
So the micronutrients is your vitamins and minerals. So you will get that from a variety of foods, right? So different foods would have different micronutrient contents. The macronutrients are what we have the most control over. Do you know what any of them are?
No.
No? You know what carbohydrates are?
Oh, starch.
Well, no. Carbohydrates, proteins, and fats are the macronutrients.
Okay.
And we get those from the food groups.
Right. Okay.
Right? So in our staple group,
Yeah.
the biggest one there, the biggest segment, this is where we get the bulk of our carbohydrates. And we also get a lot of fiber depending on the choices that we make.
Right.
Right? So what are carbohydrates for?
Stop questioning me.
I want to see what you know.
You're such a teacher. Look, we've got something up on the screen. How's that going there?
Well, that's jumping into foods from animals.
Yeah.
But
okay.
we're still in staples. So
Right.
basically, those carbohydrate foods give us energy. That's
Yeah.
what our brain and our muscles use for energy. Right? And fiber depending on the choices. So things like sweet potato, whole wheat bread, brown rice, etc.
Yeah.
That keeps our gut healthy.
Yeah.
Right? So it feeds the healthy gut bacteria. You do need more of it.
More of that, yes.
It keeps us regular. Also keeps us full.
Right.
So we're going back to the whole wheat bread example. So if you have a whole wheat bread sandwich, it'll keep you full a little bit longer than if you had a white bread sandwich, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Right? So that's your staple groups. That contains things like your provisions, cornmeal, green fig.
So you would recommend giving, so we're moving away from the snacks and talking about actually lunch now.
Yeah.
So you'd recommend giving the children?
No. This counts as snacks too. So
really?
Something like granola, like a little bit of homemade granola is a great snack.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah, makes sense.
Or you could take sweet potato slice. You know, kids like chips.
Yeah.
Take a sweet potato, slice it thin, and bake it.
Janelle, that's so cool.
Well,
yeah, makes sense.
Right? So even like you could use breakfast, so oats for breakfast.
Plantain chips and that sort of things.
But the thing is, the commercial ones tend to be deep fried.
So you want the parents to make it for themselves.
Ideally.
Sort of bake it.
So the concept is to get parents to get back to the kitchen, because if you start relying on convenience foods, you run into problems later on.
Okay, let's talk about legumes now.
Right. So your legume groups, that's your peas, your beans, and your nuts.
Yeah.
So your peas and your beans give you carbohydrates for energy, protein, which is muscle building.
Right.
And then you have your nuts, which gives you protein and fats. Right.
And you can give the children nuts and so on as snacks.
The thing is, nuts,
type of nuts.
Nuts are not really allowed in schools anymore.
Yes, because of the allergies.
Because of allergies.
Yeah, but maybe. Okay, so what sort of snacks you'd get out of the legumes group?
Ever baked chana before?
Ah. Right.
What I like to do with this group as well, in terms of snacks, you can make something that's easy for their lunch. Get like a black bean brownie.
Yeah.
So if you use black beans and put a little oats in there, it could be a high fiber treat, which has a little bit of sugar, but it's it's nice.
Yes,
and especially
yes,
if you use local chocolate. We have a lot of nice local chocolates now.
Yes, yes.
You're getting a lot of magnesium. You're getting antioxidants from the chocolate. So something, as inherently bad as a brownie can be made healthy. Anything can be made healthier.
And we're moving along. So we did two vegetables, fruits. Well, fruits I think would be self-explanatory. Yeah, because you can give like the local fruits.
So like a Portugal is like the perfect size for your lunch kit.
Right.
Yeah. So basically a serving size of fruit is a cup or the size of your fist. And once, kids generally need about 2 to 3 servings of fruits a day.
Yes.
Which can be difficult.
Yeah.
But it's very simple. So like a big banana, that's 2 servings in one go.
Right.
So if you have a banana and an apple for the day, that's all the fruit you need. So, you could get creative with that too. You could make something like a, how they have applesauce?
Right.
You could do for younger kids like mashed banana with maybe a little bit of cinnamon. You could get very creative with it.
Put it in the bottle as well.
Make popsicles.
Yeah. Okay, and foods from animals.
Right. So this, you can see this pretty smaller.
Yeah.
It's our second smallest segment, which we don't really pay attention to in Trinidad especially.
Yeah.
We tend to load up our plate with meat. So we don't need... I know.
And you just brought him to life with that one across there.
We don't need a lot of animal protein in our diet. So the legume group is much bigger.
Okay.
Right? So a serving size of animal protein is 1 ounce. I'm sorry,
1
Rishi.
ounce? 1 ounce, Janelle.
That's 1 serving. So most kids would need between 3 to 6 servings a day.
Okay.
Right? So about 3 servings is the size of your palm. That's all you really need, really. So that twice a day is generally all
And
you
would you
need.
have any fats and oils in there?
It doesn't mean, because it's small, doesn't mean it's off limits.
Right.
We do need fats to survive. Because it's one of the macronutrients, it's important, but it's almost energy dense macronutrient. So we don't need a lot.
Yeah.
Right?
All right. You know what? You're going to be our nutritionist, our resident nutritionist, because you've been questioning me and you've given us tips and you're just right there and spunky and ready for the morning.
The questioning helps,
I'm going to have to go back to school now. It's the first day of school. I don't know if our sprinter is with us out there. I know that they're looking to get a site so that we can cross over to her at the Mucurapo West school so that she can tell us what's going on across there. But in the meantime, we're going to take in a few messages. Janelle, thank you so much. Yeah. Are you going to be back?
I'll be
You're
back.
You're definitely going to be back. And who knows, with Carrie's cooking, I don't know if we're going to be allowing, I'm promoting his cooking. I can't wait. I love food. Oh, look at this. These sizes, 1 ounce, they don't make sense to me. But I'm going to be fit. We're going to do it together. Yes, I'm going to get fit on this program with you. Maybe Carrie might train me. He says he's a fitness guy. I have Janelle Zakur with us once again, just to wrap up the healthy snacks in the packs as we came out of that school report.
Right, so now we're jumping straight into the snacks. Yeah. Okay, so what are some good snack options that we could put in lunch kits? So we actually do have some perfect serving size fruit available locally. So even though Portugal's a seasonal, that is one. Apples are great, even though they're imported, they are perfect for lunch kits. So you could pair that with, even though peanut butter is not allowed, there are other butters that are available in the grocery. They may be a little bit expensive, so it could help to make it at home. So things like sunflower seed butters. You could use the string cheese, which is a serving size of cheese already. 1 ounce of cheese is a serving. So putting a string cheese or even the little baby bells, those are perfect serving sizes. For older kids, you could use things like airport popcorn and pretzels. If you want to get a little creative, we could jump into muffin making. Carrie? So when you're making muffins at home, instead of using things like oils and butters, you could use fruit as a base. Even pumpkin puree, you know, applesauce, bananas. Those are great bases for muffins. We could do smoothies as well for lunch kits and just use a little bottle. That's all they need. You could freeze it beforehand so it stays cold. You know, there's so many things we could do for lunch kits using the food groups, right? Sandwiches, always great snacks. You could do like a mini pizza. So if you take a small whole wheat hops, like half a whole wheat hops, you could do the same pizza sauce with cheese. Wrap it up. A little bit of veggies on top, and that's a perfect snack as well. You know, so you could get very creative using the food groups in lunch kits. So it doesn't have to be a bag of chips. It could just be very affordable things you could pick up in the grocery and just get a little creative. That's all.
So we've covered all the food groups, and we've given some great tips, some healthy snacks for the packs. Thank you so much, Janelle.
You're welcome.
Yeah.